completed your task in a timely manner.
I'll calm down when you stop bringing your little excuses. How about that?
My, such aggression. We scarcely need add hostility to your list of inadequacies, Paratrooper Sealong, no mind. The individuality encouraged by Auntie's choice sometimes inspires employees to speak out of turn. How has your progress been? Have you acquired what we discussed? Excellent! Pleased that someone in my employ can be relied upon. Here, have one of my finest suits as a token of thanks. May it aid in your capture of hearts and minds.
Again, you gave away my job and told my replacement to send me home. That don't make me wayward, and it sure as shit don't make me unreliable. If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now. That's surely the most tempting offer I've heard all day.
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death a preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down-and-outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
It most assuredly is not good for her. This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say, but Auntie's choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. If you're serious about that job offer, come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision, most assuredly. But I suppose that is no longer my concern. Now, if you're finished urging workers to quit, let's move on. The acquisition of this information is but the first part of my plan to bring our foes into the fold and to ensure my future. The second is my operation in Westport. Worry not. The culmination of my plan will bring me the tools to aid you in your endeavor to enter the Vox station. Westport is a shell of the bustling town it was prior to the invasion, though a handful of Protectorate Yesayas still cling to it. My plan requires their conversion. Verily. On to business. I've a kit of supplies to aid you, items to cajole or to dissuade. Sabotage the town or sway the citizenry. The choice is yours. Should pose no trouble for a go-getter like you. Excellent. Here's the kit. Advertisement tapes, ambidextrine, assorted stimulants, free samples of Purpleberry Crunch, everything you need to wage war on the undecided mind. With that, I shall mark the locale. Begin with the vigilant Hogarth. Motivate him to depart, and his subjects will trot in file behind him woolly cow-like. Now, I'm sure you've asked yourself, for a task so involved, shall the reward be worthwhile? Well, wonder no longer. For the completion of this deed, I'm prepared to offer you an exact replica of my one-of-a-kind, limited production, Gentle Person's Oxonian. Then consider yourself officially deputized in the war to further innovation and the free market. Be forewarned. I can only guess at the needs of the denizens of Westport. You must engage with them, gauge their situation. Only then can you motivate them adequately.
All done in there? Hope that little dust up back there didn't put you off. My contract had me caged, and I was glad to get a few licks in during the jailbreak. I'd like to take you up on your offer, if you're good for it. You're going places. Could be I'm keen on heading that direction myself. If you help me fix my graft, you'll retain the services of a fully functioning enhanced soldier. Me. Don't matter what you set your mind to, together we'll be unstoppable. And in time, maybe I'll have earned myself the clout to be welcomed back into Auntie's Choice. Had a feeling you knew a good offer when you seen it. Once I'm in top form, you'll be pleasantly surprised to see what I'm capable of. Just gotta find out how to get there first. Doc Tinsley worked with Grafts for some time before she came to Fairfield. Damn fine scientist. Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us.
This much of a crowd's not likely to keep a low profile. Someone ought to head back to mine the ship.
Acknowledged.
After you.
This new corporate life is so confusing for us Protectorate folk. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure, shoot. Ask them defectors if they miss anything about Protectorate life.
10 bits they said community.
Yep.
Community.
Eden's hinterlands would be more pleasant if Auntie didn't airdrop them raptidons willy-nilly. Sure makes getting from A to B a pain.
Blame Spacer's Choice. They're the ones who first weaponized the livestock in such a manner. Auntie just acquired and rebranded the idea when she came to Tau Ceti.
Right. Poor Auntie. Her hands were tied. I heard you all bred the raps for diet toothpaste and such originally. Only taught them to heal and kill later.
Ain't sure who you all is referring to. Me? I prefer for the raps to stay wild. Free. They're better off out here than in cages in a cargo hold.
Better for them, sure. Not so much for us.
ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch working
Well, at least it's not shooting the water anymore.
a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part,
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile.
Hogarth. Milver Street reckons he's the key to converting this town. Let's bring him the good news of Auntie's choice, shall we?
Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate.
hard to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence.
Apologies, but I don't believe I should be discussing such matters with you without permission. Once you report to the Vigilant, I'd be happy to speak freely. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea.
I had a nightmare that the matriarch didn't gift us the paradigm, and we were left to scramble for purpose.
Greetings.
In defense against seizure,
It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
Were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dear.
I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the Vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted Vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem.
No. As I stated, as a means to seek a reprieve for our remaining residents, if not myself. A harsh judgment looms in our imminent future for our cowardice or negligence, depending on the Arbiter's interpretation. I will certainly be executed.
Devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us...
Yes, because my subjects need me. As Vigilant, I vowed to protect them to the end. The fact I can now see it coming changes nothing. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's choice saboteurs.
Like those meddlesome raptidons, or the base individualists.
These fine and decent folk don't deserve having their lives thrown away on account of my failures. If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the Arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, Allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
Look around. If the Protectorate wanted to do right by you, you wouldn't be starving and wallowing in this metal quagmire. You want to help your people? Go to Fairfield.
Fairfield? Why, they're the reason we're in this mess. You'll forgive me for questioning such timely offers of generosity and kindness. No thank you, not interested. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity. Our enemies envy.
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse.
And the Sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of...
When I look outside, I see people who are hardy and resilient, who trust the paradigm, who understand prosperity will return with time and group effort. I have the aid of key pillars of our community, several persons of note and good character who stand with and by me, and our town still functions. Our automechs are still running, mostly. We have a generator to power them, fresh water, the reassuring voice of everyone's neighbor Prudence wafts from our loudspeakers. I don't know. Look, I've entertained these fool notions of yours long enough. There's no use pursuing such a fruitless line of thinking further. I have a brighter future in mind for Westport, one you can help with, in fact, rather than dwelling on dark maybes and scenarios of worst imagining.
We're all in this together.
Understand your reticence. I dare say I even share it. After a lifetime of strict compliance with state edict, feels almost mutinous to pursue such an undertaking. It's a gamble, no arguing that. But anything else is simply giving up and waiting for the end.
Ecological network. To govern it, the Matriarch, working with and through the Sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed...
That's abundantly kind of you. Though there must be something I can offer.
Bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do...
Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask?
Like those meddlesome Raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient.
Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in.
For now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure...
Farewell now.
Manipulative indoctrinatory falsity. Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Hey, Commander. Could I have a word with you real quick? I hope you're not seriously considering helping the Protectorate here. I know these folks seem on the down and out, but we're as like to do more harm than good by siding with them. Right. Okay. Well, if we do as Milver Street's asked and convert the populace to Auntie's choice, they're more likely to get the care they need and not be sentenced to death. Milver Street also promised us a way into the Vox. Oh, and a Ritzy hat. Man drives a hard bargain. If he can be trusted. Reviving Westport would anger some folks back in Fairfield, but there's no question the Vigilant could help us get into the Vox station a whole heck of a lot easier. Guess it's south then.
To the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Literally everything I own is underwater.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
The pleasant atmosphere and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where...
Look who's back. Don't suppose you checked in with Vigilant Hogarth yet, eh? Oh, glad to hear. Probably sprung an important task on you afterwards, I'd wager. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in charge of repairing all the mechs in Westport.
Don't fret. The system is resilient. The system abides.
I mean, sure. All the underlying logic's the same, if you mull it over. I've been trained to run them big algae processing units, which were a fair amount more complex. It's just... subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback. But I'm happy to help the system abide any way I am able. I assume those are approved Protectorate announcements, correct? With everyone's neighbor prudence and the like? I mean, sorry. Of course they are. Loudspeaker control terminal is in the proclamation station a few structures over. One with the antenna. I suspect they go there. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of dying, though, of course. The system abides.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Even if I did ever fall prey to such treacherous whimsy, you think I'd be fool-headed enough to admit it to a stranger? Look like I've been kicked by an automech or something? I mean, void damn. Vigilant Hogarth's still here. No matter how bad it gets, keeps us going. Keeps us right. Folks like him prove the paradigm is aligned with the Architect's plan. Just gotta trust the rightful guidance of the Vigilance and the Sovereign.
Of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm benevolent hand of the Sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the
Think I care more about remuneration than helping my neighbor? Nah, I'd rather live in an honest-to-goodness community than be surrounded by them individualist backstabbers. Sure feel sorry for them. Maybe someday after we, well, utterly crush their forces and disprove their bent philosophy, we can show them all a right, better way to live. Why, things need to severely decline around here for me to even consider... Oh, shut my mouth. Could never leave our fine Vigilant in the lurch. Fairfield.
Raw material for perfection. From From the lowliest subject to the most
Well, probably should keep my voice down, but if we lose power to charge our mechs, this place is done for. Final nail in the coffin, or similarly minded metaphor of your choosing. Not that the paradigm would allow that, of course. Curativist Row is a fine sword, pillar of our community. Might impatient, sure, but with how busy she is, we'd all do well to respect her time. Watch out for that Weintraut fellow. Talk your ear off if you let him. Kinda lonesome, but doesn't let anybody near his place for some reason. Even before the flooding. Everybody else? Decent enough, I guess. Well, mechs do all the heavy work for us in the Protectorate. Just like each of us, each type of mech has their assigned specialty. Takes a little doing, but you can readjust them. A combat mech can be reconfigured to oversee comestible distribution, for instance. Or mine or harvest crops. All you need is the know-how to retool their subroutines. And the right parts. Plenty of parts. Granted, reprogrammed mechs are never as efficient as those specially made for a role, but they get by, eventually. After a fashion. Outsider.
But prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform
Outside.
that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Look alive, Commander.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
predicament. Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the Sprag race. Just didn't account for all these Crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hope the Crabbles skedaddle. Or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Hey, Commander. I, need to ask you a favor. See that old storefront over there? Reckon we have time to check it out? Swear I'm not just looking to do a little window shopping. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point, supposedly this is where he's holed up. He's ex-protectorate, a good man. Tracked on the Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Seeing as we're already here, I was hoping we might drop in. Briefly, of course. No, I mean, at least not since that time I tried mixing my own detergent, but I'm sure you don't want to hear about that. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Wasn't like I didn't want to take things farther, hit the protectorate where it hurt. But I still had my cover to think of too. I couldn't risk disrupting the mission. I'd feel better about that commendation if things hadn't turned out as they did. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Guess some of what you said way back when stuck. All that talk about putting people first. Figured that's what I was doing. Putting a stop to all the pain I was causing. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. This looks like the place. Lord, I haven't felt this high-strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Niles.
Howdy, Zeb. You look... well.
Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
Can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters. And who precisely are you? Another Earth Directorate cast-off? I hope not for your sake. Niles doesn't have the best history of looking after his friends.
Bring that boil down to a simmer, Zeb. This is my commander, one who was with me at Horizon Point.
Ah, yes. The same commander who nobly ordered you to leave your colleague to perish under rubble.
I know it, Commander. We all did the best we could on that mission.
Perhaps my words were too pointed. It is difficult to erase the memory of how Niles came to me, half torn up, on the border between life and death. But that was years ago. So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. That would depend on what vision you have for Arcadia's future. Everyone seems to think they alone know what's best for this colony.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting...
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, that means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the consul. Do you always put your hands on other people's things?
Let me handle this!
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
Goodwin here. Field report update. We are approaching the Raptidon Den. These beasts have exhibited excessive irritability as of late. We endeavor to determine why. Surely the red spores aren't to blame. Wind-borne spores lack the catalytic agent of our food additives. Only way to be certain is to gather a stool sample. Simple enough. A routine task for the Audacious Advances field team. Right now, as we approach the Rap's nest, certainly the spirited variety will offer... Oh, no! Oh, okay. We need to run now!
Liquidate 'em!
We're closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us. Her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
I see you have not brought my cousin to heal. Have you at least seen about Ida? Do hurry. I might remind you that I am on increasingly borrowed time. I see you have not brought my cousin to heal. Have you at least seen about Ida? Do hurry. I might remind you that I am on increasingly borrowed time.
Take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Promotion accelerating activities done, and we've already got dropouts. Doozy of a drop, too. Can't believe Ormsby pegs these people as executive material. Me, sure. Them? Huh.
We can hear you.
Hush, Cobb. Today's task was about upward mobility. 3 died hanging the ropes. Told them they were doing it wrong. Dead include Assistant Hagen, and other slackwits.
Show some respect.
Oh, like you care. You didn't even participate.
I told you, I got a cute lumbago.
Time to break camp for the next skill-building exercise, which I will surely dominate. This is Sanitation Specialist Cutshaw, soon to be VP of something big, signing off.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking Protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for Zeranium gas. We sprung a leak. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that matters is getting these Automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure,
uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displays standard overload readings that allow for
Yeah.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.